Okay.
Go ahead, Todd.
You all set? No, he wasn't quite ready.
Yeah, we're good.
You good?
Yep.
Okay. Head coach from Casey Stitzel, head coach at Millersville, and Jahme Ested. Oh, I went for the long one. So, sorry. You're hell of a player. Yes. All right, thank you.
Coach, it's a 1-point game at halftime. Just what kind of changes they have?
Yeah, you know, it's. I've always learned that sometimes when your season ends, some of the same skeletons that have kind of bothered you all year show up, and I think they showed up in the second half. I don't think we guarded the way we did in the first half. We didn't really talk on defense, miscommunication on the defensive end. And then just offensive. I mean, obviously Jaden was hurting out there. He was probably playing at like 50-60%, so that really changes how we play. Obviously, he's a guy that can get in the paint, get other guys' shots. He obviously wasn't himself tonight, so it was kind of hard to get into an offensive rhythm when you play, 30 games, right, with a certain style, and now you have, one of your best players, if not your best player, not really moving well during the game. So, and then obviously, I think we just got to continue to get better, as we stress with adversity. When things get tough, you got to get tougher, So I thought we played pretty well in the first, especially for being a little down injury-wise. We had a couple other guys banged up, but then I think in the second half, unfortunately, the skeletons that we've been battling all year showed up at the worst time.
Obviously, you guys saw Gannon a couple times this year. How hard is it to prepare for an offense like that they run the same thing, basically?
It's crazy. I don't think I've ever in my 18 years of doing this is played against more press teams in the last 3 weeks. I feel like every practice I'm getting ready for a press, and I've had like 6 press breaks in, and usually, you're lucky in the past to see like 2, maybe probably. Obviously, Strasburg are lead presses, so it's definitely unique, And then obviously we have more of a conventional team this year with 2 bigs. So that brings a challenge, obviously, defensively. We decided to switch today. I think for the most part, it actually was the right game plan. It's just hard, because obviously Gannon are throwing out 5 guys that can shoot it all the time, they can bounce it and pass. And we're more conventional, 3 guards, 2 bigs. So from a matchup standpoint, and then obviously the other thing is we just haven't been as good on the road. If you look at our home record, Ethan would know it, I think 17 or 18? 16-1. I mean, we played that same Gannon team at home. All of a sudden some shots go in, and the energy's a little better at times, deal with adversity a little bit better at times. So I just think there's obviously some things to get, proved with, but we've proven now that, we're one of the top programs in the region. Now we got to take that next step to being in the PZAC championship again, like we were 2 years ago, and winning games in the NCAA tournament. And that's obviously what we'll be focused on in the offseason.
How big is the experience of this whole season for your underclassmen for next year? Yeah,
it's huge. And the greatest thing is, not only do you look at the 24 wins, but more importantly, you look at what didn't work. Because that's the way to get better. A lot of guys don't want to look at it like that sometimes. It's not as easy to look at it like that. But the best way to get better is to fail. And then when you fail, is how do you adjust? How do you get better? You got to look in the mirror, and I think we all need to do that as a program. We need to look in the mirror and say, hey, 24-7 is a great year, but how do we get up to playing, trying to win the region, trying to win the PZAC, and 2, obviously a loaded region. It has to be one of the best regions in the country, and obviously a loaded league. So we got to keep getting better. We got to keep looking in the mirror and learn what didn't work, more importantly, than what did work, and then try to get better from there.
Jahme, building off that, I think played against full court press 5 of the last 7 games of the season. How much of that does wear on you?
It's definitely tiring at times. I mean, we got good coaches, good staff to prepare us for each game, but it's definitely tiring at times. But I feel like today just wasn't that day. We had a lot of old things spiral from the past, like he said, like he mentioned. But we just gotta look forward for next year, move on, try to get better from there.
And what specifically you as a point guard, as somebody who's coming back next year, will be a senior next year, what did you learn from this season that will take forward in next year?
I learned don't take anything for granted. Because even though we had a great year, again, just like that, fast, just like that, we had a great year. We ain't accomplished everything that we wanted to, but again, overall, we still had a great year. I love these guys. I wouldn't want to play with anybody else. But we just got to look forward to moving on to next year and getting better from here on out.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, thanks for all your help.
Thank you.